Yeah. Halfway there.
There's a new internet or something, right?
Yeah, we don't know what the passwords are.
It's right there. Okay. Okay. We will call the meeting to order for the city of Saratoga Springs, Tuesday, May 4th, 2021 at 6:01 p.m. Present tonight, I have Councilman Carn, Councilman Porter, Councilman Wilden, Councilman McComber, and Councilman Podeska. So we do have a quorum. Councilman Porter has offered to give us our invocation, and Councilman Carn will lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for this opportunity for us to gather together as leaders of this community to conduct the business of Saratoga Springs. And we ask thee to please bless us that we will be able to make decisions tonight based on thy guidance and on what is best for the future of the citizens, both living here today as well as those that will come in the future of our great city. And ask thee to please bless those that are serving our city as first responders. They will be watched over and protected, as well as blessing on those serving in the armed forces, both domestically and abroad, as they protect our freedoms. And we say these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
From the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Okay, we have public input. Time has been set aside for the public to express ideas, concerns, and comments for subject matter not listed on the agenda. Please be respectful in your comments. Please avoid repetitive comments. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. If you are here for the public hearing of the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget, please hold your comments for the public hearing. Is there anybody here? Okay, do we have anything sent in? Okay, seeing no comments, I will close the public input portion of the meeting. Is there any reports from the council? Councilman Porter.
So over the last two weeks, I guess, since our last meeting anyway, I've had a couple of meetings. We had one on the transportation study being conducted with MAG in regards to transit in our area and how UTA can better serve our residents. And then not yesterday, a couple of days ago, I guess, the North Utah Lakeshore study looking at transportation. Specifically, it was intended to look at Pony Express and working with our neighboring cities on that. I have to express profound disappointment with MAG and how both of these studies are moving forward. They basically are ignoring our residents, is the way I feel. We're still working through both of those studies. But I just wanted the council to know that I do not hold out a great amount of hope that we are going to receive any sort of benefit from these studies. And in fact, I think they were probably a detriment to our city. So.
Any other comments from the council? Okay, I had one. Mayor Acerson, acting as trustee Acerson with the UTA board, met with Mayor Westmoreland and I the other day. Mark is working with Eagle Mountain to set up a joint meeting like we had in the past where Mayor Acerson will come. In the past, UTA's always come, never really said or did anything. Mayor Acerson, having been in a growing city with transportation needs, really seemed to kind of hit that after you and I spoke. He would like to come and have kind of that joint meeting as a region out this way with the councils and have kind of an open discussion with that.
To be fair, he did seem very interested in working with the cities. It was more the consultant that was hired on that study that seems to be stuck in old thinking.
Yes. So I think to your point, we expressed the concerns you had. And I think Mayor Azerson's like, I'd like to come out and meet so he can argue on our behalf with UTA and the board. He's got the position and the understanding. So Mark, I know you and I spoke, you were working on that with Eagle Mountain.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, thanks. Just on both of those to Councilmember Porter's point, we have given them back feedback on the documents that are still draft or still kind of interim studies. We've given them significant issues that they need to work through, and we've passed those along to them. On the North Lakeshore study, I think they kind of lost sight of the vision of what we were interested in this report actually doing and got more bent on, or more, I should say, more committed to a result that perhaps is the easiest result going forward. And on that, we feel like there's room for us to potentially get what we were hoping for, which was an acknowledgement that Pony Express will be a critical arterial collector road that is playing a vital role in the North transit issue with potential for future funding. Unfortunately, they've kind of gotten myopic in saying, does it work as a freeway? And then because it doesn't work as a freeway, they're pulling the arguments on why it doesn't work as a freeway, which is fine, but they need to acknowledge that it is a significant transit corridor and it has a significant need. In fact, we finally got them to admit that it doesn't model without having that in play as that 5-lane arterial. So we're working with them on trying to get
The bridge across the canyon is the way to go.
well,
That is part of it. It was just a lot of pushback. We wanted to include the arterial Pony Express on the maps.
And there was a lot of pushback. Oh, well, we can't include that on the maps. We can't talk about that. And it was really frustrating for me to the point where I actually left the meeting because I had lost all confidence in this study.
I've been there.
So it was an extremely frustrating meeting to be told, well, yeah, we realize that this is important, but we're going to ignore it anyway. So.
And on the transit study, found significant problems with their data. They were still showing our city boundaries from 2009. And so they, pre-2009, by the way, so they had missed all of the SLR annexations and every subsequent annexation. So we've given them that. And
This article is with the fastest growing city.
it may have skipped across it. So again, I hope that we've given them sufficient feedback now for them to course correct, and we'll see where that next response comes.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Mark, anything from administration?
Sure. For those of you in the audience that have actually never attended an in-council meeting, would you please stand that are staff members? Our city council, Doug, get up there. Ken, you've never done it. All right. So we can go around the room real quick. Over here, we have Fred, our new attorney, helping in our attorney's office. No one's hiding behind the podium. Obviously, you've seen Ken on camera, and some of you met him in person, but you've got Ken, our new community development director. And what's his name? Oh, yeah, Doug Meldrum, our new economic development director. And I'm sorry, David back, he's our new planner one. And then obviously Spencer Quain, who's been with us for now a year, all in COVID. So welcome to your first in-person council meeting, all of you. He has been here for almost a year, but he's never made it to an in-council meeting. So
Well, welcome.
Hell of a year.
Yeah.
and for those of you that don't recognize, Chriselle's in the back corner. So
We all know.
Yes.
Isn't she part of the
If
staff?
you want to stand up, you can stand up too. Thank you.
She feels like part of the family.
So Mayor, we do have need for a closed session tonight. So we'll be looking to that.
Okay.
And then from an administrative side, we're glad to be together. The state just announced end game policies. And so we'll be following those closely and adjusting on what that might look like. And at this point, we're still following the state building directions and haven't quite digested what that means and when they will pull it. It says May 31st. I suspect that that might go away here much quicker, but we'll see where that's at. But thank you for being here and happy to answer any questions if you got them.
I just wanted to add really quick, most council hasn't had a chance. Councilman Carn helped interview Doug for his position. His first day, we started off introducing him to a business. And he had already started reading our code to understand kind of what we need for economic development. So I think that it was a great addition. We've had a lot of great additions to staff in COVID. Hopefully when they all get in the office, they all play nice in the same sandbox.
Mayor, thank you. I wasn't aware Doug could actually read. So well done, Doug.
He got the audiobooks of our code.
No, we're really excited. Things have been great. And we appreciate councils working with us to make sure that we're addressing our staffing needs. And you've been fantastic. So thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Department updates are in the packet. If there's any questions, please reach out to the department managers on those. Consent items. I'll entertain a motion on the consent items.
So me.
I have a first from Councilman McComber, a second from Councilman Carn. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Carn.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Wilden.
Aye.
McComber.
Aye.
Tedesca.
He had
Oh.
you on, yeah.
Aye. Okay, perfect. Motion passes unanimously. Councilman Wilden, do you have a comment?
No, I was just gonna make a motion.
Evening, Mayor and Council. It's nice to actually be here in person and see what everybody looks like in real time. I've just gotten used to seeing you guys' pictures on the screen, so it's a bit better. You guys look better in real life. So this is budget amendment number 5 for the fiscal year.
I've been looking for it all day.
As this council can see, we have an addition of 1 new position for the building department. Most of the other items are moving around of funds in the various capital project funds and operational funds. Was there any questions from the council concerning this budget amendment?
I couldn't find it. Is it somewhere besides our
It's
packet?
in the big packet, but not in the itemized packet.
It is in the item, it's in there. It's under business item 1, not public hearing 1.
Sorry, that's all right.
Yeah, I had the same problem this morning, but
I was
Mark
looking
found
at
it
it
for me.
today, and then when I had a chance again, my schedule was too full. I couldn't get back to it.
Mayor, I have a question.
So I didn't get a chance. to do it.
And
Councilman
this
Carn?
may actually be for the building department and not for finance, but we're adding 1 building inspector. Reviewing the packet from the building department, I think our inspectors are doing 19 inspections a day on average. Is 1 enough? Are we going to come back for another one in a few weeks or?
No, we're trying to keep up with that. We are adding this position and again, it's something. So it seems like there's a lot. And we're doing the best trying to add as appropriate.
Okay.
And so again, we appreciate the flexibility. That's a good question. We can come back.
Yeah, I'm fine with amendments, bring them as we need them. I'm just worried that we're not doing enough soon enough. 19 a day is a pretty heavy schedule on an average.
It is. We'll talk with Mark.
Okay. And it made me, there was another email today about we're having a hard time hiring seasonal staff at the parks. Are we having a hard time getting staffing in general right now?
There is.
I know some of our local businesses are having a hard time hiring people.
And that's, we're feeling that.
Okay.
The seasonal discussion, it was, Councilman Marshall, asking about some resident questions. But again, we are still recruiting. And again, generally, once school gets out is when we pick up some high school kids and some college kids and
Okay.
things like that. And so for us to not have filled those voids yet is not too out of line. But it's,
We always have trouble with.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's, there's a labor force that's going to be freed up here in the next couple of weeks, and that's
Okay.
generally how we fill it.
Thank you.
Also on that, Councilman Carn, other positions, we're actually seeing more people than we have previously. So it just depends on the position, how many applicants we get
We're getting more applicants for those.
for certain positions, like building inspector, but every city is looking for a building inspector, so that's very competitive. But other positions we've hired for, we are getting a good pool of applicants.
I can't imagine other cities are having the applications we are. I mean, permits being pulled and inspections needing being done. Those numbers were impressive. Okay,
Councilman McComber?
that's all, Mayor, for me.
You got a
Sorry, I
comment?
just want to get this password, trying to get this password so I can pass this paper down.
It worked.
No, it didn't work for me. It worked for me, but so he's
Yeah.
cooler than me. You guys can try. I'll just stick with my hotspot. So in the packet, business item 1 is actually the 2022 budget. 2021-22 budget. I did still, where is the 2020-2021 amendments?
Those were in the full packet, I believe, around page 87.
Okay, so I didn't get a chance to review that, and so I personally won't be able to vote on that today because it wasn't in the, I didn't get a memo saying to go to the full packet, and I usually don't go to the full packet. I go itemized, so
We apologize for that error.
so I look at business item 1 and I pull it up. It's actually the 2021-22 budget item. Karn, Chris,
Oh.
when you pull up business item 1, it's actually the 2021-22 budget.
I think it was mislabeled, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I personally won't be able to vote. You guys can still vote on it if you want, but I didn't get a chance to review that.
Okay. Okay, it is a public hearing, so we'll open it up for public input. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Please be respectful in your comments and please avoid repetitive comments. Is there anybody here for that, or do we have any comments sent in? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Is there any other discussion from the council? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Well, I was just gonna say, I was able to run into it, unlike, I usually go piece by piece, but I did a little bit differently. But in any case, I appreciate the conservative nature and the comments in there. And I think we've been overly conservative and things have come in better than we expected. And so, and I appreciate the commentary. This was on the 20, maybe I'm getting confused, but between the 2021 and then the 22, but I read a comment that the increase still falls within the expected increase in revenues. And that's always what I was looking at. In this case, I believe the increase corresponds with what we've already received conservatively, if that makes sense.
I do think that is the 2022 budget.
Yeah.
That was the business item number 1. I think you were looking at that. I saw the same comments there, but if I remember noticing the same thing.
That's the one we're talking about.
How timely do you need this approved?
The amendments.
I mean, is that going to delay the hiring process?
We could start the recruitment process. We just couldn't offer a position until it's awarded. So 2 weeks, it won't kill us.
Okay.
I mean, so long as you ask, if we start the recruitment, you're going to be okay with that. So.
Yes.
Okay.
So we've already held the public hearing. So next time we just need to have it on for approval.
Do we need to table the public
Yeah.
hearing or
No,
Public hearing's
so it's
done.
closed?
Yeah.
Need a motion to have it on.
And I'm supportive of that. I think I got the different schedule. I saw part of it here and looked at the comments of others. So anyway,
It looks like we all maybe had different things we were getting confused by.
but I am comfortable with you moving forward as one of 6 here with the recruitment process.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
So what do you need me to move on?
We just need a motion to move it
Continue.
for approval
I-
for 2 weeks.
I move that we continue public hearing item 1 to a future date, the next available date, resolution as stated on the agenda.
Okay, I have a first from Councilman Wilden,
I'll second that.
second from Councilman McComber.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Porter? Aye. Karn?
Aye.
Tedesca?
Aye.
McComber?
Aye.
Wilden?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Fiscal year 2020 budget discussion.
As we're preparing the budget for the next fiscal year, we're continuing to have some modifications made from what we presented to the council a few months ago. We were presenting 4 new items to add to next year's budget. One of those is the building inspector that was included in the budget amendment. Another one has been a recent request for a senior planner, additional senior planner. A general plan update also is included with planning. And then also recreation department is, this request was made prior. We just actually got the official numbers from HR, so we all include that now. So that was reclassing of one of their sports officials to an adult sports official. Was there any questions from the council regarding these items?
Anything from the council?
I would just
I was
ask
totally
that
screwed up.
I would ask the comment I made before about the conservative expenses being increased less than the forecasted revenue, if you'd put it in this section of the minutes.
Okay.
That would be grand. Several grand. That's all I had.
Perfect. Any other comments?
I don't. These were very
No,
straightforward.
my other comments are actually geared towards this.
Okay,
So now I am straight, and I'm glad we tabled the last one.
and I will
I'm
entertain.
totally cool with this stuff.
Well, it said building inspector right on here. Yes. I'm like, oh, this
Yeah,
is clearly,
yeah.
we're all talking about the same thing.
So I think the other one does have building inspector to finish out this year,
Yeah.
but there was other things in there. I just wanted to make sure that I'm reviewing it. Now they're talking about it. I'm understanding, but now I'll have a chance to review it.
Yep.
But thank you everyone for helping me out today.
And thanks for helping me apparently. So.
I will entertain a motion on business item 1.
I'll move to approve the fiscal year 2022 budget discussion amendment. Was it just a discussion? Do we have to approve this?
Just discussion.
Just a discussion. So no.
We're good.
approve.
good.
So
I rescind my motion.
we really need to clean this up.
Yeah.
Second.
We all get on Zoom.
Because we'll approve the budget next month,
Yeah.
right?
In 2 weeks, we'll have the final budget for you, final budget for you.
If we can just make sure that the 2020, 2021 is voted on first, and then it's distinctly separated in the vote next week, 2 weeks for the 2021, 22 budget. Thank you. Maybe put something in between it, just so.
The 6th budget amendment.
Okay, perfect. Business item 2, Market Street Village Plan 2 of the Costco Community Plan.
I love how we call it the Costco community plan.
Oh, it's not. I mean, go. Mayor and council, hi, my name is David Stroud. I'm the planning director here. The applicant for this item, Mr. Steve Newsstand, he apologizes. He also had a commitment in Midvale City tonight for, I believe it was a city council as well. He is not present. He didn't have anything to follow up with, other than he's happy to work with the city to move this project along. Owen, you want to put the cursor on the screen? Click it. There we go. Basically, this would build out the Costco community plan. This will be the Village Plan 2, referred to as Market Street Village Plan. Encompasses 6.32 acres, and the Planning Commission does recommend approval. There are a couple of conditions in your packet there. Basically, the Planning Commission forwards with those that are in the staff report. And that screen there, okay. They would also like to add a condition, no additional monument or ground signs beyond what is contained in the signage plan. And the screen keeps flickering. As well as far as building signs, it follows Title 19. And just give you kind of the overview of the lotting plan, where the potential buildings are located. A couple of restaurants are already in the works. Olive Garden, Dutch Brothers, and Apollo Burger are known, at least this time, known projected users for this site.
Looks like they're planning for one on lot 7.
Yeah.
Sort of obvious.
Yeah, and again, the applicant has written in the code that the Costco community plan says that it'll follow regional commercial zone uses. It is written into the village plan here that that will be accepting or eliminating the possibility to have car washes and auto repair from this village plan.
Thank goodness.
Okay. There are questions from the council?
When are they gonna start thinking?
Probably last week if you ask them, so.
So let's get this vote done.
I do.
Okay, Councilman McComber.
I appreciate, that he was double booked and he had to be somewhere else, but his application, I really liked that everything was provided, everything was complies. It's the kind of developer that makes working with us easy. And he probably, maybe was having more issues there. I don't know, that made it wise for him to go there. I didn't find any problems with the plan. I actually found the plans for the Olive Garden that they presented to be, I went to Olive Garden's corporate website and it's their premier floor plan and development plan with the large 2-story windows on the one side, the extra amenities to really make it stand out. It's going to be an icon location on the corner of Redwood. I think that's it right there. And Market Street. It's going to be seen by quite a bit. And I just was, if you can provide that feedback back, I was very impressed with
Will do.
the design on that Olive Garden. I also appreciate their looking forward thinking on some of the spots that don't have official businesses there for their drive-throughs, that they have extensive drive-throughs, because if it's what I think might be going there, that's absolutely needed and will protect the integrity of the rest of the development. Because as you go to that business and other places, it literally shuts down half of the complex with their traffic that they create. Great that they have a lot of business. I'm glad that they're looking forward and creating something that's going to be a win-win for the residents and for the business. So that's all, but thank you.
Well, also to pass on his thoughts today was, again, he wished he could be here, but he obviously had to pick one. The Quick Quack Car Wash, I'd been working with them early on and great, he's got a tenant. You didn't have to do a sell job to them, but we talked about what uses we like to see there. He voluntarily said, great, we'll write that in, even though I've been working with Quick Quack. He's like, I want to be good neighbors with the city. I want to bring in quality development. So he was, very willing to say, oh, great, we'll write those uses as not permitted. I did get a call from Quick Quack yesterday, kind of, last second appeal. Why are you doing this? First time I've ever talked with them about it on that site. And I said, well, this is the kind of the direction we'd like to see on this property. The city council has a legislative authority, even at village plan level. City council can, decide, hey, there's certain uses maybe we don't want there. And so
I appreciate it because it's within 5 good arm throws distance from the other one. And I didn't like that they were playing politics with another competitor that's in the city, using our city as a punching bag. That's going to affect us for the next 30 years. So please let the developer know how much we appreciate that he wants to be a good partner. Absolutely looking forward to working with him on great businesses coming. We've got great people to help him from our economic development and our community development to help any way we can to bring in the right businesses that are going to benefit this region and the whole area. Quick Quack has a location. They're very busy and then they can just enjoy that location. And I appreciate his support. Thank you.
Well, in a sense, that there's plenty, we're not telling Quick Quack, you can't come back. Regional commercial, they could still technically go to regional commercial and be fine, but
there's other places, but I do know that we're looking at adjusting our code to make sure there's a certain distance between these car washes like we did with storage units. Just to remind the residents who might be watching, the services of a car wash are great. It's something that we need. There is 0 tax dollars that come in. All that space gone, taken out of your regional commercial because it's a service. And in this great state of Utah, we still don't charge we don't charge taxes on services still. So thank you.
And
Council.
Yes.
I'm having network problems, so I wasn't able to check the staff report, but I just want to make sure that one of your findings is that per the city center district area plan, the council is able to determine the uses that are allowed and the location of those uses. And so that should be a finding that's incorporated in your motion.
Okay.
Because you are basically placing limits on car washes and auto repair.
number 1.
And that is incorporated into
Yeah,
the findings
it's on
about
the
the city
findings.
center district area plan.
Yes.
Finding number 1. Yeah.
Perfect. I will.
That's actually not what I'm talking about. So what I'm saying is the district area plan allows the council to limit the uses that are there. So if we have any concerns by an applicant who's not being allowed to come here, it needs to be clarified that the city center district area plan allows you to make those decisions.
I think it does talk about unit type, but we can be clear. We can make it more clear, Kevin. I can see where you're coming from.
Add uses to that.
We just put uses.
I will
I can,
entertain a motion if we're ready.
sure. I'll move that we approve business item 2 as stated on the agenda, including all findings and conditions, adding the condition that, or not the condition, I'm sorry, the finding that the district area plan allows the city council to dictate specific uses within an area.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a first from Councilman Wilden, a second from Councilman Porter. Any further discussion?
Does dictate the appropriate word?
Councilman McComber,
Aye.
Tedesca,
Aye.
Wilden,
Aye.
Porter,
Aye.
Karn.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
please pass Michael's comments on.
Choice.
On
to the
behalf of
developer,
everyone, I
on
was
behalf
speaking
of
really
everybody,
for
yeah.
Whatever.
North Shore Neighborhood Plan Major Amendment.
All three of them are flickering. This one, that one, and that one. They're all flickering at the same time.
Oh.
Well,
Are
the
any of-
names are all mixed up, so I've been turning the wrong people on.
You know, can we just take 1 minute for me to run downstairs and get my glasses? Because this
Yeah.
one's not working and I can't. I'm
Yep.
getting too old.
Okay. Yeah. What?
I just unplugged it.
Oh, it's been flickering at the same time as this one. Yeah.
This one showing you?
Yeah, Becky
but
was laughing
screen on
too.
and off, but once with this one, so. Yeah, so they're all flickering together for some reason.
Okay, Sarah, we're good to go.
We are, except that I can't see the, okay, I'll look over there. So,
Do you want to speak from Owen's desk and so you can see it, or are you okay? You're a young guy still.
I can see those ones. So, okay. So this is a request to amend the North Shore Neighborhood Plan. And this here is an image of the area they intend to amend. So right now there's a church shown there. There's 2 churches within the neighborhood plan, and this is the northern church. And the church is not buying that property, so they would like to amend it. And there's a summary showing of what they're adding. So they are adding 38 units to the units that are shown there. They would like to make the units along North Shore Drive rear loaded so that there's no driveways on North Shore Drive. No other parts of North Shore Drive have driveways, so that'll be consistent with the rest of that particular roadway. And then the townhomes that you're seeing in blue, those would be rear loaded. And then there are also some front loaded and rear loaded townhomes in the other locations. And then they're adding a 1-acre park. So this is the overall plan, and the area in the cloud, the red cloud, is what's being proposed for an amendment. And then this is an example of the rear loaded single family lots. So they have some of these in the development, the Legacy Farms. I was going to say something with a W, sorry. So.
Did you see how the color goes all the way around that picture? It just.
Oh, okay.
The beautiful fronts and then it's beige and gray around the place. We've already had conversation. They're not doing that anymore, but that's what happened in Legacy Farm.
Okay, that's good to know. And then these are the elements proposed in the park. So a fire pit, a barbecue, a pavilion, and staff recommends approval. The planning commission also recommended approval as proposed.
Are there any questions from the council? Councilman Carn?
My only question, with the addition of residential units, I'm assuming we're tracking overall density across the whole project and is still in line.
Right, it still is in compliance with what's allowed in the neighborhood plan in that zone.
Under,
Right.
okay.
Actually, under, yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate the reconfigure and getting the driveways off that main road. I think that's a great solution. So I'm good with this.
And the addition of a
And the
park.
Yeah, and the park is nice, yeah.
Churches are
Councilman,
great, but they're parking lots.
Councilman Porter? Or sorry, no, Wilden. These names are messed up over here.
I'm so offended now. No, I was just gonna say, I really appreciate, instead of just filling up that whole area with all new units, maintaining a 1 acre park. And then it's actually nice to spread out some of these units because you were vested in those, and instead of cramming them into one other location, we're able to spread them out a little bit over the whole property. So it's, I think, a great solution. So thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Rochelle, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, but we're disappointed the church wasn't able to put the table. And they knocked on my door the day after I got off, but we're happy with this change.
Councilman Porter or Podeska?
Yeah, and you did mention that there's still the chance that they could bring in a church site at a later phase. And so you may have to readjust again, or?
They are still actively looking for a site, and they would love to be in Northshore. With the market being what it is, they're having negotiation problems, especially when they had.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Mark?
And just a quick update. We met with Chriselle earlier and we're excited. Hopefully we'll be coming forward with some movement on that commercial area with some things in the near future. So it's promising. Again, generally being vague, yeah, right on 23. So pretty excited about that as well.
Councilman Carn?
No, I'm just ready to make a motion.
Okay. Councilman McComber?
Okay, poor mayor here. The names need to get adjusted.
We were reminded of seating order after the council. Oh, had it right. I'll take this one.
You
Okay.
moved me all the way down in that. See?
Yeah, you're down in the corner.
I worked 7 years.
I told you.
7 years. Not giving this up.
So the comment I wanted to point out is to build on the park comment that was made, the fact that you actually exceed the open space requirements in this development. And I just want on the record that the 1 acre park was not even required in this adjustment, and that you're trying to make a good neighborhood for all the people who are living in this area. And they do have some closer proximities. They're townhomes, but people want to live in townhomes, but they need to have a park within a decent walking distance. So I just wanted to point that out, that was not even required in the current rights that were given to this development because of all the other open space that they had provided. So I just wanted the developer, we've given compliments to other developers. I want to give a compliment. Please take that back to your management, that we appreciate the long-term vision, and that even with the price of land the way it is, that they still were willing to sacrifice other units that you still had rights to for that beautiful park that you're putting there. So thank you.
Okay, I will entertain a motion.
Okay, I move to approve business item 3, North Shore Neighborhood Plan Major Amendment. Ordinance 21-13 dated today
With all,
with all findings and conditions.
I'll second that.
First from Councilman Carn, second from Councilman McComber. Any further discussion? Porter? Aye. Wilden?
Aye.
Carn?
Aye.
McComber?
Aye.
Podeska?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
I think after a year away, we might all need to wear name tags for
Yeah.
mayor.
Well, Steven didn't help on those Zooms because he kept changing his name.
Doctor. Doctor.
Okay, thank you, Chriselle, for taking the time to come in.
Should have done Doctor Who.
Okay, code amendments, Title 19, city initiated, ordinance 21-14.
And Mayor, if you allow, I'll sit here in case you need to scroll through some items. Let me flip some screens here. I'd also like to bring up discussion with staff. We'd actually like to pull a couple of the items and, work now that Doug's on board with economic development, get his perspective on the square footage and office warehouse and the parking, at least going from 5 to 4. We can sit down and go over things with Doug, get his perspective and, perhaps round things up and if we want to take it back any further, we can have that discussion. But for at least those 2 items, we like to pull those off tonight.
And part of that research, if they can actually go, you guys go to other places in the city that have the 5, how you can't find parking at these locations, that you're having to walk across busy streets to get to the medical plazas and different things, because it's amazing how many dental spots you can fit into a very small amount of square footage, et cetera. It's very difficult at times. Just as part of that research.
And that was good information at the planning commission. Of course, I haven't heard any complaints about anything, but it was good information that they've actually had personal experience, and sounds like you have too, with parking issues. So
one time I think my son was like, "Where are we going, Dad?" And they said, "We're going to that building over there."
start walking. So with that, again, how we've done these in the past, I don't think we typically scrolled through everything. I think if you had comments or questions, we brought those up. There is still one parking standard I would like to discuss, and I do have an example of that. That would be looking at parking at some point based on gross leasable area of a building. And so with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Mayor.
Okay. There are comments from the Councilman Carn.
My biggest comment was going to be on the item you pulled. So I appreciate you taking the 30,000 square feet minimum back and relooking at it. I had a lot of concerns there. I didn't like it at all. So looking forward to what you come back with.
Any other comments on the items? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Anything specific?
It would be in your motion.
Oh, yeah, well, what is there a
And-
title you want me to remove from the
Well,
motion?
yeah, well, it'd just be the office warehouse square footage and the parking. You scroll down to it here. Again, I'd like to talk under office medical healthcare, as you see there.
Yeah, so
Basically,
19.9.10.
right.
Okay.
And so as you see the parking requirement there for office medical and healthcare, at the bottom there, the 4 per 1,000, the gross leasable, that's what I'd like to discuss. And I do have an example of a floor plan. If you do, well, I guess that was in your packet.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon for cities to do parking. A lot of them do it based once you go to a certain building square footage. We've at least proposed that 2-story. Previous place I worked for, we had that at 10,000. Once you hit 10,000, you'd go to gross leasable. The thought being, if you have atriums, common hallways, things like that, that's not actually what brings the people to the facility. It's what's beyond those, more the private area of the walls. And so based on that, we'd like to, if there would be any discussion here, if not, we'd like to at least do some sort of parking based on gross leasable.
Okay.
I'm not.
So I move that we approve code amendments, Title 19 City Initiated Ordinance 21-14 dated today, removing the office, medical, and healthcare discussion around 1909.10, and then also the anything dealing with the office warehouse
Square footage.
Requirements.
So just to clarify, there's no change to parking requirements for office medical, gross leasable or not, just
Nothing,
no change.
unless we want to have the conversation now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
bring it
having
back.
some research makes a better conversation.
Mhm.
Okay, I've got a first from Councilman Porter.
I'll second.
I have a second from Councilman Podeska. Any further discussion?
I just want to point out, one of the main reasons why I'm voting as to support the removal is because the planning commission also forwarded negative recommendation. And before I overturn an appointed body like the planning commission, I appreciate the additional research that will be done.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
agree.
Okay, Councilman Carn, Porter,
Aye.
Wilden,
Aye.
McComber,
Aye.
Podeska.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. We have need for closed session this evening, so I'll entertain a motion to
So
enter into
made.
closed session. I have a first.
Second.
A second, Councilman Carn. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.